a Prophet of Thought series exclusive.
Get ready.
The Prophet of Thought.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series, right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. Tonight, got a very special guest on deck for y'all tonight, because y'all know this is how we do things on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. Tonight, we will have BYE-TYE on the show. Very interesting group of folks. I like their style. I watched a couple of their documentaries, and I said, you know what? I want to get these people on this here show. So that's what we got going on for y'all tonight. We will be interviewing BYE-TYE live and direct right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You already know. What we got going on in the chat. Peace to everybody. This is BYE-TYE. My phone. Hey, what's up, Lady Azula? Logging into another device. Am I able to call in? Yeah, you can call in. I have to set my phone lines up, though. Hadn't did that. Or send it to Monarchy. Okay, I can do that. I mean, if that don't work, I'll just have to set my phone lines up. It'll take me a couple minutes to do that, but I'll go ahead and I'll if you're watching, I'll go ahead and I'll send you the link to this email that you got up here. So what's good, folks? Let me start off by thanking my donors. I got quite a few donations last Thursday. You know, after Thursday, I don't see y'all no more till Wednesday. So, you know, I want to thank y'all. I mean, I got quite a few donations last Thursday. All of you who sent donations, y'all know who y'all are, because every time y'all send old X a donation, I sit down and I write you a personal email, not a computer generated one or some facsimile one where I can just take someone else's name out and put your name in it. I actually sit down and write you a personal email, whether it's 5 of y'all or 500 of y'all, thanking you for your contributions to this here platform, because I realize that you don't have to spend your hard-earned money up here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page, but you choose to do so, and it is greatly appreciated. Like I always say, every time you send a donation, I just take it and I regenerate it back into the old T.P.O.T machine. We got a lot of things going on. You know, we back on Wednesday nights. I know this has been the first time we did a Wednesday night show in a minute, but y'all know we got the DXLs on Thursday night. Those are always wild as hell. So once again, I like to thank y'all for contributing to this platform. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. But like I said, y'all know who y'all are. A lot of y'all be like, oh, you know, X, don't say my name. So I don't say anybody's name because, like I said, whenever y'all send me something, I usually write you an email anyway. Sometimes I may not get a chance to write you back for a day or two because I do work during the day. So a lot of times I don't get a chance to check my emails. I got about 10 different emails. And a lot of times I just don't get a chance to get in there and check it and see what your email is. But y'all know, you know, once I get in there, whether it takes me a day or 2 days, I get in there and I always write you back. Thank you for your donation. So once again, T.P.O.T says thank you. But anyway, yeah, tonight we will be, like I said, we'll be interviewing BYE-TYE. Tonight, as y'all can see, the show title is Pushing Back on Poverty. Y'all know, those of you who follow the Prophet of Thought series, y'all know we talk about this kind of stuff quite often. You know, we talk about poverty. Well, we talk about a lot of things here, but you know, poverty is a subject that we often talk about on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. And you know, poverty's rough, man. As it stands now, as far as black folks go, I think poverty hovers right there at 22%, I believe. Most of the people that are living in poverty right now are mostly women with children. Poverty, it's something that has haunted black folks in particularly for quite some time. And the majority of the people who suffer in poverty happen to be children, because the biggest percentage of people who happen to live in poverty are people who have children. And children suffer under the throes of poverty all over this world. And you know, it's people of many different races, but you know, here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page, we talk about what concerns black folks. So black folks' poverty is something that I don't think we'll ever get to a point where it's totally eradicated. I mean, we live in the wrong kind of times. We live, especially here in America, we live in the wrong country for us to eradicate it. Because you figure what, there's somewhere between 40 and 45 million of us. You're talking about something like 22%, somewhere in there. You're talking like 8-9 million people, okay, who are at the poverty line or below it. And those are just the people who report it. Those are just the reported numbers. So it may be greater than that. Often people who live in poverty are forgotten, because people who live in poverty don't necessarily have a voice. And the reason why they don't have a voice is because they don't have power. And the reason why they don't have power is because they don't have money. So they are always going to be underrepresented, because it's hard for some politician in your local government, your state government or county government, and definitely in the federal government. It's very difficult for someone who works in that position to kind of understand poverty. And it's not like someone who lives in poverty is going to necessarily run for office, become a mayor or governor or senator or congressman or whatever, and get up there and be able to represent people who live in poverty. Because guess what? When they get that job, they're not even living in poverty anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So it's hard for people who live in poverty to be represented. I mean, of course, there's people out there who advocate for the impoverished, but a lot of the people who advocate for the impoverished, they're not poor. I mean, impoverished people are the only people who don't really have anyone that's in their predicament, if you will, to represent them. Do you understand? The people who are mostly talking about poverty is people who have a job, people who have a position, people who have some degree of money. How often have you seen a person who's living at the poverty line or below it standing in Congress talking to people, or standing on a stage, or at a political event? They don't even invite people who are living in poverty at these things. You won't see them there. So they don't have quote unquote representation, if you will. And like I said, the representation that they do have are people who have money. So it's kind of a it's kind of a double negative, because you got someone with money trying to advocate for poor people. So it never seems to really work. And that's why a lot of things don't ever change. The poverty numbers have risen over the past 10 to 20 years. It's not like they have dropped, even though you hear people tout uh, the unemployment numbers going down and all of that kind of stuff, because a lot of people who are living at the poverty line and below it, a lot of them work. It's not like all people who live in the throes of poverty are just people who are just sitting around all day, twiddling their thumbs and playing PlayStation. Some of these people who live in poverty actually have jobs, okay? Which means what? It means that they are working just enough to not have enough. If you can understand what I'm saying. What's good, brother Jay Shine? Yeah, so that's kind of where we are far as the poverty numbers go. Now, like I said, I mean, poverty affects a lot of people. It just doesn't affect black people. But y'all know this is T.P.O.T. So we talk about black folk stuff here. And because I know and I've known people who lived in deep poverty. I don't mean just poverty where, they don't have, the luxuries that others have. When I was growing up as a young child, I remember, and I've talked about this before on this channel, I remember that there were a group of kids who we went to school with and we played with too. They lived in a section of town that they called the Bottom. And what the Bottom was a group of houses. And many of these houses didn't have lights. These houses didn't have running water. And it was odd because at the time when I was a child, you didn't pay a lot of attention to it at the time. I understood how deep their poverty was as I grew older. But at the time, I would say 7, 8, 9, they were just kids that we played with. They were our friends. We played kickball and baseball and football and all that kind of stuff with them. So you never paid any attention to it. But they didn't have lights. Many of the people, they didn't have running water. They got their water from a well. A lot of them lived, I look back on it now, and they were actually living like people lived in third world countries, where they had boards on the windows, plastic on the windows. Nobody worked. I mean, and it was just, it was a horrible thing. Now that I look back on it now, and me and my younger sister, because I have a younger sister that's about 3 years younger than me, we were little, and what we used to do, we used to actually steal food out of the house and put it in bags and take it to them. We used to give them sneakers. We used to give them shirts, hats. I mean, when my mother went shopping, me and my little sister, we would steal canned goods and put them in a bag and take them over there to them. We used to do that kind of shit. So What's good, brother Lando? V Black, I'm here waiting for the email. I sent it, brother. I sent it to Monarchy Inc. at Yahoo. I sent it to you. I'll send it again. I'll send the link again. It will send it again. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on, y'all. Let me just send the link one more time. All right, I just sent it to you, brother. I don't know what happened the first time. All right. Hey, what's up, Lady Thalia? I see you up there. Yeah, I just sent it, brother. We waiting here for the guest to come through. So are you gonna hit the link, or do I need to you gonna come in through the link, right? Y'all coming in through the link, or do I have to set these phone lines up? Because that's gonna take me a few minutes to do that. Because y'all gotta y'all have Google Hangouts, right? What's good, Simply Deep? Lady Linda, I see you up there. Check your email, brother. I'll just run my mouth like I always do. Till y'all come on. Yeah. So while we waiting for my guest to come on, tomorrow on Thanksgiving, we will be talking about, I don't know if y'all saw the promo or not. We will be talking acting, black and white. We'll be going through the different what it is to be quote unquote acting black or quote unquote acting white. We're going to be talking about all that tomorrow. Y'all know how it is on DXL. It'll be a lineup of the usual suspects. I already know that we're going to have brother BMT going to be on tomorrow. Let me see who else. Brother Nagone, Gab Talk. Yeah, Gab Talk Media going to be on also. I'm trying to get, I think Brother A&1 is coming. I'm not for sure. I'm not sure because y'all know tomorrow is Thanksgiving, but y'all know here at T.P.O.T, we don't take any days off. So yeah, tomorrow it's going down. It's going to be a good show. Like I said, the usual suspects will be here. We probably have a full panel tomorrow. I've been trying to keep the panels light, but tomorrow, a few brothers will show some interest on coming on. So we may have 8, 9 people, you know, somewhere in there. I don't know yet. I might throw in 1 or 2 female guests as well, because y'all know the DXLs are usually kind of male centered. But we may throw a female or 2 in there tomorrow. I don't know. We got to see what's, we got to see what's going on. So tomorrow, make sure you tune in 9:30 p.m. Eastern time right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. We will be talking, acting, black and white. What's good? F.A. I ain't got on my glasses, god damn it. You can't be having no, y'all know y'all can't be having no initial names, god damn it. Y'all know I'm old and blind. F.A.S. God damn, I just broke my damn glasses. See what you just made me do, F.A.S.? You just made me broke my damn, bro. You just made me break my damn glasses. Oh, man. God damn it. Trying to read that damn initial you got up there. Oh, you like the jacket, huh? Yeah, man. Not bad, huh? Starting to get chilly down here, man, in the old South, brother. You know, starting to get a little nippy out there, brother. You know, I'm old. I got them old bones. Um, yeah. So make sure you hear tomorrow. I done broke my damn glasses. Now I gotta go find my other damn pair. See, messing with you, FAS, made me break my glasses, man. Now I gotta break out the ugly pair. See, I like these. These nice, thin, and stylish. Now I gotta go get my ugly pair. See what you did? I don't know what's going on with my guests, man. I don't know if I sent them the link. I think they watched. I know they was watching. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So, in the meantime, if you're feeling generous, because I know my viewers got that money, go ahead and drop a few coins in the bucket. It's greatly appreciated right here. See right there, that old Streamlab tabs. I'd prefer y'all do that because I'm turning that super chat off, man. I'm going to have to do that because every time y'all donate through super chat, y'all know that YouTube takes 30% of that. So I think I've started to just turn it off, and also get these likes up, man, because y'all know I don't like this number to not match this number. These numbers should be similar. Okay. Oh, okay. We done been joined by our most esteemed guest. What's good? BYE-TYE, what's going on?
Go, baby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
My Yeah, my internet's slow. My phone broke, so I had to use
Okay.
my husband's phone, and I couldn't
Okay.
figure out my email and my password. So I'm
It's all
sorry.
good. It's all good. It's YouTube. It's not a big deal. Trust me. I have nights where my shit be cutting off, going in and out, all kinds of nonsense. And I've been doing this for years. So it's all good. Everybody, BYE-TYE is in the house. Can y'all hear them? Put one in the chat if you can hear them. Put one in the chat if you can hear them, y'all. Let me know what's going on. Yeah, they can hear you too. They can hear you. We good. We
Okay.
good. So, I was telling the folks about what y'all do. I was talking to them about poverty, giving them a few poverty numbers. So I've ran my mouth enough. So won't you tell the folks what you do, what BYE-TYE is, and what BYE-TYE does?
Well, my name is Sayla, and BYE-TYE is our youth organization that my husband and I, along with my nephew and son, came up with. And BYE-TYE means building young entrepreneurs, therefore yielding earnings. Um, we homeschool our son, so we know that about time he becomes of age, we're teaching him to not be able to not have to work for anybody, be self-sufficient and independent. So obviously we would call that entrepreneurs, but we have to mold them young. So we just kind of put that together. So that's what BYE-TYE stands for.
Okay. So won't you tell the folks what you do? I gave them a little synopsis about your documentaries, but I think you can tell the story better than I can.
Yeah, we go around the city and just interview people that we see on the streets, whether they're homeless or, just we see them all the time, or, just traveling by. Maybe they're not homeless, maybe they're living in a house and they're just struggling or whatever. Majority are people, is who we interview. Um, we feed them also, but as far as the documentary goes, we have to bring awareness to poverty. And poverty, a lot of people have a misconception on it. They think that a certain nation of people are in poverty, or poverty looks a certain way. According to the Webster's, I think it's 1828 dictionary, the definition of poverty is the destitution of land. We don't own our land. So therefore, whether we have a job and a lot of money, we're still in poverty because we don't have our own land. We don't have our own nationality. We don't have anything to claim. So that's what, another thing we do is we study the etymology of words. We go back to old dictionaries, to see what the original meaning is, since of course English has changed. So yeah, and now like the IMF, Monetary Fund, they have their own definition of what poverty is. Due to the number of Federal Reserve notes you have, the dollar bill. But those are debt notes. So the more money you have, the more debt you have. So really, it's all about the land.
So what started this? What made you and your husband want to start doing what you do? What brought this about?
Well, first off, we had to change ourselves. We actually took away a lot of things from ourselves, that people feel like they just need to comfort their life. So we just stripped everything away, and basically you can say stayed out in the middle of the woods somewhere for some years. And we studied a lot. We turned off the TV, turned off the phones for real, and just observed everything. And we see that everything is out of order, and we're suffering because of ignorance. We don't know who we are, so therefore we can't claim our nationality. Therefore, we will remain in poverty because we don't have our own land. For example, I hear on your radio you say a lot, your people. We're all for our people. We have to be for our people first. Our people, who call ourselves Black or African American, by us saying that, we're saying we don't have a land to call home.
Mm.
That right there is poverty.
So when 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 y'all started to when you took everything away, turn the TVs off, electronics and all that kind of stuff, and just studied. I mean, what was that like, and how long? I mean, how long were you, like, I guess, out of the loop or off the grid? They kind of call it off the grid, if you will.
Yeah.
How long were all of you off of the grid, and what was it like?
Technically still are. We've trained ourselves. We've spent time in law libraries, genealogy libraries. Um, we study everything that they didn't teach us in school. We started this about 5, 6 years ago. And so throughout everything, it's, taught us what we came up with today, which obviously is poverty, and that's what we speak a lot about. Um, what else?
What do you say?
I'm sorry, my husband's right here.
Well, I know I went to you guys' Facebook page because I always research my guests to make sure they who they say they are. You guys are in you're in Long Island, right? Suffolk County, Babylon.
No, we're actually in Florida.
Oh, you're in Florida now. You're from Babylon originally, right? That's where you guys are from. From New York originally.
Well, we don't actually put our location on there because we know Facebook is, just something for agents.
Oh
So
yeah,
we don't.
Facebook is stupid, but
It really is. That's why we post nothing but information on there.
okay.
We're actually from the Midwest.
Oh, well, I saw Babylon. I was like, wow, they're from Babylon? Because I'm from Long Island. I'm from Suffolk County. I mean, I
I,
haven't lived there for like 35 years, but that's where I'm from originally.
I can tell by the accent, but Babylon just means confusion.
Oh, is that what it means? But yeah, when you when y'all go out, to go out to film folks and stuff like that, do you pick particular people? Do you, like, for instance, do you pick a particular, because I was telling everybody at the top of the show that a lot of people who live in the throes of poverty, like you said, it's not what they think. Okay. A lot of people that live in poverty, especially in this country, work. They have jobs and all of that, but they're still technically living under the, quote unquote poverty line standard or below it, even though they have a 9 to 5. So do you pick those particular people? Do you go to the people who are the working, quote unquote, working poor, or do you go to the people who are homeless, living in shelters or living at the train station? I mean, or do you just kind of circumnavigate everybody?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm just cooking. I'm listening.
Okay.
But that's a good question. I wanted to answer that because she kind of get nervous when she online, and I ain't camera shy, so I do whatever.
Okay.
But I really don't pick and choose who, like a security guard will come up, while I'm over some, like I could be in projects dealing with my brothers and sisters, just chilling, chopping it up with them, and the security guard, he'll be the one that's woke. You know what I'm saying? And the brothers and the sisters that's out here in poverty, you think that need the knowledge, don't even want it. It's so many of them that would that feel that this knowledge is disrespectful to them more than helpful to them. So sometimes you just really you say a few things and you got to go by how they react on it. You just can't stuff it in their mouth and their mind like that because they think it's really disrespectful. And a lot of people, then threaten to kill us, threaten to kill me personally.
Wow.
For telling them the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just breaking it down to them, showing them, like, for instance, women, black women at that. We know we all been broken, but poverty is part of the black woman creating the ward of the state. The black man, originally, we had the land. She depended on the black man. We was her God. Until they came and gave her the Bible and told her to destroy her God, which was the black male image. You understand? And that's when they took the land. We wasn't going to give up the land like that. But through the lady and through the seeds, as she's birthing these seeds and registering in his seeds, birthing his seeds, registering his seeds through the state, that's how the land is given to the oppressors. And that's how we built their economy. And we live in poverty. They milk us. We work as debtors. We hold the debt. You know what I'm saying? We pay the tax.
I like this, brother. Man, I gotta get you back on here, man.
Yeah, it's deep, poverty deep, and it even go to, I tell brothers and sisters, because we want to attend to stop the violence movement and everything else, but we tell them it's pointless if we don't deal with poverty first. We have to deal with poverty to stop the violence. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna find and my children, I see them starving, I'm gonna find the best way to feed them. This is just our natural instinct as men. We protectors, we providers. You know what I'm saying? So our natural instinct is I gotta get out here and feed my babies. So in order to, no matter what it takes, I'm gonna take that chance. So in order to stop most of the violence and the killing each other and hitting each other over the head, it's gonna be us dealing with poverty.
I agree. Well, let me.
And nobody. You the first brother that want to deal with it and talk about it. Nobody want to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. This is T.P.O.T, man. We talk about everything. We no holds barred here, man. I mean, I was impressed with what I saw. Somebody actually brought y'all to my attention, and I watched some of y'all material, and I was like, I want to get these folks on my show. Let me ask y'all, what do you believe? What do you believe is one of the greatest causes of poverty in this country with our people? What do you think is the greatest cause? I know there's many causes, but what do you think is the most prevalent cause of poverty?
Like he was saying, we let people take over our land.
Mm.
Yeah. And
And the definition of poverty is destitution of land. If you don't have your own land, you can't grow your own food. You can't have your own anything. You're not independent.
Right.
A lot of even people who own their homes or have a mortgage in law means dead pledge. So even if they have a mortgage, they're still in poverty because they don't own the land. The land is the earth.
Right. And then you have to understand that our people ask, we wonder why we never get reparations. Only why you don't get reparations is because you don't own the land and you can't claim a nation. You ain't claiming a nation. We calling ourselves Black, African American, when we should be calling ourselves natives. See, because when you go back and read the charters, like, and this is just on another subject, the King James issue and Christianity. We can get on that subject. But when you read those charters King James wrote to John Smith and all his successors and heirs, he wasn't telling the people to deal with the African Americans. He was telling you to deal with the natives, and natives means owner of the land.
And
so we looking at Indians and like, oh, those Indies and Indians, but we're the Indians. But we calling other people Indians, which are 5%ers. They pay their way to get our heritage. That's why we can't get it, because we're claiming Black African American. We in a fiduciary relationship with the state, with the government, and that's due to the SS5 that the woman filed with the state to get the Social Security number, which is a deceded number. And deceded means dead person. You dead in law. You a civiliter mortuus. You have no nationality, no culture. You have no rights. You have no nationality, nothing in law. You're dead. And people, when they hear dead, they think casket. But you can be competent. You can be dead in mind. Most people ain't competent. So.
Wow.
You can tell a person this, and most people that I tell them, look, you can break it down easily and softly to them. Once they hear that dead word, they're like, hold on, I ain't dead, I'm free and all this and this, but they don't know what free is. They don't know what private is. You know what I'm saying? And once they start understand what freedom is, what private is, what crime is, and these things, we'll come up out of this position in this situation. But until then, I think we in the worst position ever.
Well, you said earlier that often when you try to share this with people, they reject it often. And you said that you've even been threatened, like your life has been threatened. Yeah. So are you saying that some people may not realize that as you're trying to explain this to them, they don't realize the conditions that they live under? Are they oblivious to it, or are they just in denial of it? Because there is a difference.
A lot of people don't see their conditions.
Some people don't see it, and some people say they do see it, but they in denial. They keep,
or say they can't do anything about it, or I have children, or some. Right. There's some type of excuse following it if they know.
Right. And they will play light and go along with it. Every day we see each other. Some of them even lie and say they didn't read something, and then I ask them a question just to see if they read it. And you get I forgot answer. So I really, for real, what we on is just trying to build our estate and grow, and so our tribe can grow. That's the key. And because we know our people deal with action, they react off of reaction. So no matter how many times we travel out of town, state to state, get kidnapped by the policy enforcers, they still don't believe. They still don't.
So what you've told me what the causes are and the condition. What would you say to someone who comes to you and they say, I want to know how to get out of this? What would you say to someone who says they want to get out of poverty? Or should I say, what do you say when they say that?
I think the first thing is they have to know who they are. They can't say they want to get out of poverty still saying that they're black or saying that they're African American. Again, we have to go back to the original definition of what poverty is. So they have to know what poverty is, understand it,
and know where they at.
know the effects of it. Yeah, know where they're at. They have to know who they are and claim their land. And of course, it's a process, because in order to claim your land, that means you have to go to the one who stole your land and say that this land is mine.
You have to stand up. It ain't like you going and begging them, but my thing is, when I came into it, I wanted to face the beast, and I could never find him. Nobody would show me no direction. He's over there, he over there, only because I couldn't find myself. I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't claiming my nation. I wasn't claiming who I am. But once I started knowing who I was, and now I know how to sue the beast, because the beast ain't gonna let his own civilians or citizens, whatever, file suit. You can't. You're a 14th Amendment slave. You cannot file suit against your government. You have to be a national. You have to be of a tribe. You have to have treaties. You have to go in there with treaties and the Constitution. You can't go in there playing with these people. You know, dealing with the state. You have to be on the federal side, and you have to stand with your people, whether you don't agree with them. See, religion got our people in division. We divided through religion. You know what I'm saying? And it's what it is. It's to bound you. It's to keep you bounded. And the bonds that we hold, birth certificates and social security cards, that's the mark of the beast we holding. We have to let those go. We have to let these things that we believe that we need to survive in this society go, because you already own everything. Only why you don't own everything is because you calling yourself black, African American. This is why you can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? And once you start understanding that, then you start coming to realization, I do need to claim my nationality and stop selling my babies to the state. Because this still happens to today. The Willie Lynch method still happens to today. They still pushing these babies to the dock. I call it the dealing in commerce. That's what it is. That's why we have humans shouldn't have birth certificates, only ships. And this is all part of poverty, because when our parents be informants running to the doctor to report us because she got what they call it luggage or cargo on her ship, that's where it starts. And we have to get our women to understand. They have to start selling our seeds, because our seeds is what build our economy, and that's how they built their economy. And and we didn't switch positions. Man is no longer the black man. That's why they kill us, man. Poverty is deep.
And that's another way. Of course, that's the main way that we'll stay in poverty, because in a lot of our communities, we see a lot of young females, they'll get pregnant, and of course they're quick to get out of their parents' home, so the first place they run to is to the state. They're running to get food stamps, cash assistance, Medicare, government assistance. They're quick to run to the state, so now automatically the father has to stay gone. So a woman herself is going to keep everybody in poverty, and unfortunately it's going to be a generational curse. It's going to continue to happen, because since mom stayed in the project and it was cheap, then once I get of age, I'm going to stay there too. And then my children will do the same. Somehow it has to stop.
You have no land given, no nothing to leave your children, nothing, and that's where it starts.
And that's why a lot of generation after generation, we're suffering, because our forefathers, they was passing down things. We haven't passed down things, I don't know.
We spend our children's money. Let's say that. and we let the state take the gold. And so just read. I tell them read the King James Charter of Virginia.
The charter is what started the
13
stealing
colonies.
of the land.
Yeah.
The charter started the 13 colonies, which and then you get the United States. Now it's the United States of America.
Which is all the London company. You
It's-
in London.
It's all a big corporation.
Everybody who's working with a 9 to 5, you are working in London is a corporation. And those whose homeless are actually in the greater position because they in America, they own the land, but we still got to deal in commerce.
Yeah.
But they know how to survive without it, you know. So it's.
But we look at them.
You can't take away that food and we'll provide. But these people get provided by this government. You know, government is daddy.
We have to go to them to get our
Yeah.
necessities.
It's
When
hard.
life, I mean, really should be free. This earth is free. Everything that grows on this planet is free. But yet we have to pay for everything.
Right.
So kind of back to our youth group, BYE-TYE, we teach them young how to be self-sufficient so they can work for self, never have to work for anybody else. You know, go out and learn how to purchase land, get it private, you know, just do the thing, know who they are, do the proper steps so that way when they have children, they'll do the same. And then generation after generation, they'll follow suit. And then eventually poverty can end. But we all have to be like-minded. Another thing, us women have to stop sending our children to school. That's another thing that's going to keep us in poverty, generation after generation, because the education system is teaching us what they want us to learn.
Right. Their history.
Exactly. You know, and so majority of public schools, especially in the inner city, as they say, they're not getting the proper education that they need. So a lot of our children, especially our men, mainly our men, aren't.
Well, you got to understand private, public.
There's definitely a difference because private schools are molding politicians and surgeons and neurosurgeons and astronauts and things like
Right.
that. Public schools, especially in the inner city, are molding McDonald's workers, Walmart workers, at most customer service.
Exactly.
Maybe a couple nurses.
They might
But
slip through the cracks.
They're really not going to have a chance.
They might slip through the cracks, but not a lot slip through the cracks.
We have to take more responsibility for ourselves and stop being so dependent upon those that took control over us, that colonized us, basically.
Right.
So those treaties, there were treaties in place. These are things they don't teach our children. These are things that we teach to the youth group.
Right.
No matter what age they are, we don't truly know how much they understand. Just give it to them, feed it to them. Just like you feed them candy, feed them knowledge. They'll understand it one day.
They understand that rap music.
Exactly. But the treaties is, a covenant that they signed. We need to go back to these treaties, but they don't want us to know that we're natives.
Right.
They want us to think that we're black or African American.
Or Indian or something.
So that way we won't know, we have something to claim, which is our land. Once we
Right.
have land, we won't be in poverty.
Right.
So, do you teach people? Because many people don't know this stuff. You know that, right? Many people don't know this stuff.
Which is why a lot of people look at us like we're crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure. So do you offer people help to how to go about claiming their land? Have you claimed yours? Have you guys claimed yours?
Yeah, we claimed our nationality. We did ours in 2000?
It was a couple years ago.
I think it was 16. We did our paperwork and I took it to the because every state has a Article 3 judge, which is a Supreme Court judge. And the paperwork I took, which my wife, Rick, she created herself. He told me that he didn't have no jurisdiction to even touch the paper. So that left me with my understanding is, okay, well, I just need to leave and don't deal with y'all. Because at that time, we was iffy. We didn't know, We didn't know. We was just doing it. We didn't know for real if it was the right choice or the bad choice. But every move that we was making, she was my wife. I gotta give it to her. She had me on the right track. I was like the test dummy. But then she starts seeing it and seeing the people and how they act when they see this paperwork. And then many times I think I pulled over. It's online that I showed people. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is real. You just got to stand on your 10. You know what I'm saying? Every stop ain't the same. And sometimes you have to be a man when you're dealing with these policies and forces because they want to misuse you and violate your natural rights. So when we deal with it,
And what the paperwork was the Declaration of Private Status.
yeah, it was a declaration.
Just like the United States has the Declaration of Independence, you have to declare who you are.
Just like Marcus Garvey declaration.
Right.
He had a declaration, and that's what we had. And yeah, the Article 3 judge. All I did was went to go get it copyrighted and took it to the well, they took it to the Article 3 judge on purpose, as a matter of fact, because I was going to get it recorded. And she came back and was like, he said he has no jurisdiction to even touch this paper.
So,
but as far as teaching, we don't teach. I mean, we have a discussion, obviously, as like what we're doing right now. But if somebody asks questions, we let them know where to find the information at. We always tell people to study for yourself. Don't ever believe anything that we say. Just study yourself. Do like we did. Spend hours and days and weeks and months and years at libraries. Like we literally lived in libraries every day, all day.
Yeah.
Studying, just reading.
So.
And it's books that you can't check out of the library.
Yeah, because we have been followed and dealt with. I know, the police and the FBI. We have been followed, and they came to people's house, kicked down doors, and, because people actually taking land. We call it a beehive. And she was doing it correctly, and they tried to give her 200 and how many years? 255 years for paperwork that was lawful. So we seen many things that people don't believe. We seen it with our own eyes. And you don't have to believe us, but this is how we got the information from people who's really doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Traveling and talking to different people and studying with people.
Right.
Instead of just sitting in one spot working.
Mayors coming, people that's running for mayors coming to us want us to sit in front of their house and protect them and things like that. I don't know what they seen in us. But yeah, we just young and we young and we just trying to free ourselves. Like we don't want to be locked down in America, being taxed, treated like nothing. Like this is our land, so we're gonna do whatever it takes, even though they trying to stop us and they don't want us doing this and even teaching it. Get you a lot of time out here. They don't even want you teaching it. They put me in the crazy house because I told them I was competent. They took me straight to the mental institution. And I told my wife all they doing is marking my death. Because now they can tell me that I was crazy and shoot me down like a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in here, ain't taking no dope, no drugs or nothing. And y'all put me in the mental institution because I told the nurse I was competent. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And you get pulled over for nothing and took away from your family. This stuff is real. Like, these people ain't playing when we get the knowledge. They're not playing with us. This is why I tell people, if you ain't ready to stand up, man, you talking to revolution, you talking about doing this and doing that. But if you ain't ready to go to the head of the snake for months and for years, man, until we get what's ours, then for real, I'm messing with it because these people will catch you by yourself. They know we ain't supportive of each other, so they know our weakness because they infiltrate us. Read Pro. They infiltrated all of us from the gangs. There used to be community groups that protect us from the white supremacists. They didn't. Now they're gangs. That comes from infiltration. We didn't do that. But they make us think, oh, these brothers is killing each other over colors. No, it comes from infiltration. It's all in the FBI files, Pro. So even Malcolm X, MLK Carmichael, Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, all these brothers died because they was telling our people to claim their nation, their nationality. That's what Malcolm X said. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock, but Plymouth Rock landed on us. He was talking Plymouth, England, and that's what happened. That's when King James and John Smith, they did their thing. He sent his boys over here to hold the fort in Virginia. That's why it's called Jamestown, Virginia. And I tell the Christians that, but nobody listen. Like, everybody know. Everybody has their truth. But the real truth is in legalese or Latin law. If you don't know Latin law, don't read English. For real. Latin law is very tricky, man. It's real tricky.
Let me ask you folks this. Your wife said earlier that technically y'all are still like off the grid. So what does that mean? Like, do you, well, explain, like you're off the grid now. So what do you have and don't you have? What do you do and what do you not do?
What we have is each other, which that's what matters most. Um, we don't consume ourselves with everything. We don't have to feel comfortable in a home because again, it's not ours. Um, I
Like
mean,
right now, we're in my nephew's home.
we have an ice cream truck business. Again, we try to do everything ourselves to be self-sufficient. Last night we was even having a conversation of our own currency.
Right.
We have different thoughts. We try to do as much as we can to be independent.
And we don't really have to come into my nephew's house and cooking things because we have everything hooked up in our big old bus.
Okay.
So we know activists is hated, man. They want to kill all black activists. That's bringing attention to poverty and nationalism. That's the main thing, it's groups created to stop this. So I mean, we move around like everybody else.
We
We don't
travel a
stay in
lot.
one spot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do come up to us and ask us weird questions when we know they probably following us or something. Many a times we didn't have them coming up to us, man. Like, it's crazy.
And that's why we stay moving. I mean, people see it on reality TV and on internet or whatever. People go out and buy a little camper or whatever, and you turn it into your own little home.
Right.
You get what you. I mean, you get it and you call it yours. This is something that can't nobody take away. So we have fit everything, which obviously we minimize everything because once we leave this flesh, we can't take everything with us. So
Right.
why have everything with us right now? So we really try to live on the land. In Florida, we go fishing a lot.
Right.
You go out there, you catch your own food,
We eat our own fish.
eat our own fish. You go out and you get dry sticks and leaves and you make your own fire and you cook it.
We took baths for what, 8 months outside.
Took showers outside.
We didn't have to, but that's just we wanted to do.
Right.
And in order to get back to nature, you have to get out there and learn about nature.
Right.
So
And that's what it's all about. Because if you take all these buildings away, all these houses away, all these amusement parks away,
Right.
everything away that the United States have, it's land.
Right.
We want all this stuff out here.
In order to get the land, you got to know how to get it. You know what I'm
So
saying?
so do you I know people ask you this, so I'm going to ask you this too. Do you force the poverty on yourselves because you guys own a business, so that means you're making money. So are you forcing the poverty on yourself, and when you make the money, what do you do with it? Money's not important to you, right?
Yeah, the
First, we have to
debt.
understand what money is.
Yeah, the debt
Okay.
no is not important. Yes, we know we have to deal with it to get, so far and what we trying to do, but we take that and we invest in the youth.
Mm.
Like we have an artist. He's 16. His name is Leap 300. We published him and everything, and
We invest our money.
we invested. Like we invest in the sweet treats business. We invest in the Monarchy label publishing company. We invest in our juicing business, which is Neff and Son Juice.
We feed the homeless.
We invest in my son's. He have a card game they created that's complicated to me, but to the youth now,
They
this
get
is
it.
what they do. So we investing in that. He also loved games, so he want to create his own game. And we know a few gamers too that also create games to for kids and adults. But it's just a lot of things we do with money. We don't care too much about it,
Yeah.
but we try to utilize it the right way.
Instead of just going out and splurging and buying
Right.
clothes and getting our hair done and doing different things, what we're doing right now is sacrificing so that way our son and his
Right.
children and his children's children won't have to go through this.
And we can probably have the land by then.
Right.
So yeah,
So you
the
guys are
money.
philanthropists. If you're giving your money away and investing in other people, you're a philanthropist. Then
Well, you could
would you?
say investing in. We keep it in house. Is what I'm saying. Is it's
Oh,
like
We
okay.
practice economics.
yeah, we practice home economics with our children and our nephews.
Yeah.
We all ride together. So when you see one, you might see 4 or 5 of us.
All the
And
time.
we all put all our money in one, and we all put our food all together. We cook together. Like right now, we all cooking for the whole tribe. And whoever with us, like if nephews come over, we feed them too.
Everybody gonna eat.
Everybody eat. We buy as a business. Like we shop at off restaurant depot or
Buying wholesale or
yeah,
bulk.
wholesaler cash and carries and things like that. So we buy in bulk. And when we cook like a tribe because that's one key in home economics is cooking. And another key is when these people see you and you trying to claim something you're not, then you held accountable. So therefore, we have to act as who we claim. We have to dress like it. We have to eat like it. It's probably talk like it. Get the language down packed. You know what I'm saying? Because these people gonna watch you. They ready to put you in dishonor. See, because we don't know the government. Like the sheriff, you had a sheriff, you had a police. We think both of them are against you, but they're only against you if you give them consent. The sheriff worked for you. That's who voted in. He's not a hireling. So you makes the sheriff tell these people to back up off of you, or you can go serve them and bring them to court and use the sheriff to do it. If we in our national state, our sovereign state of mind, that's how we'll be working. But right now, we don't know how to work the system. So we think everybody against us. We don't know how to work it. So we off grid only because we don't have that support. Say we come out in the open, they'll kill us, man.
Mm.
They'll kill us, man. We telling y'all too much stuff, like giving up too much game. They'll whack us off. It's nothing, and it will be forgot about like Sandra Bland or little dude that got killed by Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? They'll forget about us, but I'm willing to die for it because I got my son and I teach them. When I go, don't cry. You burn it down. You burn it down. You go even harder. Because right now the women have created a weak man. This was part of the Willie Lynch syndrome, the Willie Lynch method. We gotta build our man back up. We gotta have warriors, man, because it ain't gonna be just we go and claim it and everything's fine, man. They're gonna want to kill a lot of us, and we gotta be ready to go and kill a lot of them. I mean, I'm not saying just go out and kill people and be hatred of people. We love all people. We have white friends, Mexicans, Africans, and all these people. We love people, but at the same time, everybody ain't got that good loving spirit. So you have to protect your tribe, your family from all these evil spirits just running around.
And as long as this government is
Right.
established, we'll
Right.
remain in poverty. They're not going to allow us to have our own land as a whole.
Mm.
It's not going to happen.
We deep, like deep, deep. We gotta come in deep, man. We gotta
Yeah.
to come out in the open. We gotta be ready. Look what they did to Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, MLK. All them brothers had different religions, but one thing they had in common is what got them hot. Claiming, the FBI talking about they was messiahs. Is nationality. They didn't want them raising a black Musa is what they said. A black Messiah, living Messiah, which is one who can lead his people out of darkness, or one who can lead his people out of oppression. That's what Messiah mean. What is it? He's good in law, because that's what the Messiah was. He knew law. He knew the system. You know what I'm saying? So most of these brothers, like it was a brother named Yahim in Florida, we was feeding, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, his looks, I took his looks and I judged him, which I shouldn't have did. And I thought, oh, this is just a homeless guy that is hungry, so I'm gonna feed him. Woo, woo, woo. And in my mind, I thought he was crazy, thought he had a problem, until he seen my shirt, because I wear shirts that have um case laws on them. And he just started giving it to me, and I paused and I stopped, and I was like, whoa, we need to get this brother on the team. But we wasn't that stable at that time, to put him on the team and nothing like that. But I wouldn't mind going back and hooking that brother up now, man. That brother was knowledgeable in law. The police did not mess with that homeless man. And he said he didn't want nothing from the state. You couldn't give him a house or a car. He said he loved to live on the streets like that. He don't want nothing from him. And I respected that. So some people just like, they cool. Just feed them.
So, do you believe? Well, I know you mentioned earlier about how the education system in America teaches children to, be workers in Walmart and stuff like that. And you said that you homeschool your child, right?
Yes.
Should we be doing that? Should we? Because I'm a big advocate for us teaching our own people. I've been talking about that for years. Should we be doing that on a grand scale, like
Oh, most
teaching
definitely.
our own children?
Yeah.
So, so have you always taught? So have you always homeschooled your child, or is that something that came about when you gained, this level of consciousness, or did you always have it?
No, we was definitely ignorant,
Mm-hmm.
up until some years ago. But things just started clicking, I guess you can say, step by step. But he finished the third grade, and
We took them
we
out.
took him out. The school system, this is where a lot of our children get ADD, ADHD, bipolar, anxiety, depression diagnosis, schizoaffective, social disorder, things like that, because they think that, oh, this child is slow at learning, or this child can't pay attention, or he can't be still, or he can't read, or whatever the case may be. No, it's these teachers that come from very different backgrounds. They don't know our children. We mothers, we birth our children. We should teach our children.
Mm-hmm.
We live with them every day. We know them.
That's part of home economics.
And that's what I think changed our mind, was that the teachers would always say he's slower at reading, or He doesn't pay attention. He likes to talk a lot. So
I
we
remember
would,
that.
yeah, no matter what teacher he had from kindergarten up until the third grade, each teacher would say that. And we stayed going to a school like every day, popping up on him, seeing what he's doing, seeing what the teacher's doing, just seeing the school like every day.
Right.
And then, like in Florida school system, they have what they call an ASVAB test, where you can do good all school year, but come this ASVAB test, you can pass everything on there except for two subjects, math and reading or something like that,
Yeah.
and fail and have to repeat the entire grade again. I totally disagreed with that, and we took them out. Plus, the lunches they feed them are the same, is the same company as the prisons.
Airmark.
Airmark, they're feeding our children poison, of course, not to mention what they're teaching them. So yes, definitely
That's owned by a Jewish man at that too.
yeah, us women need to teach, especially our daughters. Us women need to teach our children. You send your children to public school, they have a whole bunch of influences. So now they're coming home questioning
Well, you
you.
have public and private and everything. So if you send your kids to a public school, then you don't want your kid to be nothing in life. Because for one, you the only one should be reasoning with your kids from 0 to 7.
Hmm.
You reason. So now we expect our kid to go to school, get an education, and be all you can be. But when he fail, we kick him out. We say he's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Only because we didn't reason with him. They reason with them, and that's important. In our culture, it's very important that we develop our child and reason with our child from 0 to 7. We reason with them.
And plus, even before that, it's important that women, while they are pregnant with child, that they watch their health and watch their emotions and watch how they're feeling and just watch everything, because it starts in the womb.
Yeah.
It starts before the child even comes out here. But a lot of us need to change our mindset, and they love the ignorant because
It's a lot that they don't know. Like,
yeah.
it's just a whole lot, man. The rabbit hole is so deep, and we can go all night, man. Like, we ain't even touched on a quarter of it.
Yeah, well, I
It's
just
bad.
wanted to get you folks on and hear you talk some of this stuff that you're talking right now. Um, I think that I'm behind what you're doing. I think it's a good thing. Everything that I've heard thus far and what I saw from watching your material, um, it piqued my interest. Now, me being a person, I mean, I guess I would be one of those people, because I'm on the grid. I got this, I got a radio show, and I do all this kind of nonsense. And I don't work for the white man. I run my own business. I've been doing that for 4 years. But I never looked at things the way you explain it. I've never looked at it this way, to be honest. I mean, now I do work to try to leave my offspring something. That's why I do what I do. If I didn't have them, who knows what I'll be doing? I'd probably be dead or in jail or something crazy if it wasn't for them. Um, but I never looked at it the way you explained it. I've never looked at it that way. Um, and it makes me think about some things. It makes me want to reassess some of the things I got going on in my life. It makes me want to reassess. And I think that's something we all could probably do, because I'm pretty sure we're throwing away a lot of money on things that we don't necessarily have to. I think we're wasting a lot of time on things that we don't necessarily have to as well. So, I mean, the fact that you have the fact that you have figured this out when most of us haven't is a great thing. And far as far as poverty itself is concerned, I mean, when I look at it the way you explain it, a whole hell of a lot of us are living in more, or well, a whole lot more of us, I should say, are living in poverty, and we don't even realize it. So,
Yeah, because
I
everybody's
say,
comfortable.
yeah,
That's why.
I say the 1% ain't 99% is, because you have to understand, I don't go against nobody who feeding their family, gotta work and do it or whatever. That's cool. I feel that. I truly understand. But when you get that check and the money ain't real money, like once you find out and read about fiat, the debt note, and we passing around debt, and we keep the only thing that holds that debt with some value is you.
Our
Yeah, your
energy.
energy gives that debt no value now, because we're not dealing with real money.
yeah, well,
They
I've
died.
I've heard that before. I've heard that money has no value. I've heard that. I have heard that before. Did we lose them? Oh, damn. Did we lose them? I think we might have lost them, y'all. I think we might have lost them. I think we might have lost them. Man, I think we might have lost them. But they bring up some interesting stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with everything, of course, because you know me, I don't agree with everything everyone says, but I mean, they bring up some what's up, brother Gab? I see you up there, brother. Peace. They bring up some interesting points. Now, I don't necessarily know if I could live the way they live. I don't think I could necessarily do that. I mean, I have survivalist skills. I mean, because I used to, hunt with my father and all that kind of stuff. But to be totally off the grid, I don't think that I could probably do that because of the lifestyle that I have. It would be hard for me to stop working and stuff like that. I don't think I could do that because I have a lifestyle to maintain. I mean, I have a home, I have cars, I have a business, I have a wife, I have things that I'm responsible for. So I probably couldn't live like off the grid. I mean, that would be impossible for me. That would be quite the transition for me to be like just off the grid, and live off the land like they do. They live off the land. Um, they have a youth group that they sponsor, and like they were saying, they teach these principles to the youth group. They teach the children how to have their own business. I'm pretty sure they advocate homeschooling to the children's parents. I'm sure because they homeschool their children. So it's one of those things that you have to be built for it. You have to be built for what they do. You have to be built for it. Me, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. Me growing up, I was fortunate. I was a fortunate person. I mean, I tell people this all the time. I mean, I was raised by my old man, and there were 9 of us. And I was fortunate that I didn't have to grow up in abject poverty. My father was a hardworking man. My mother, I mean, we weren't rich. I mean, but we were okay. We weren't, suffering. My father, he had his own business. He was a landscaper, he had his own business. My mother was a school bus driver. So I mean, we lived okay. I mean, we didn't suffer. We weren't hungry. We weren't cold. We weren't living on the street and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's sometimes when I talk about these subjects, y'all, a lot of this stuff I don't really know from experience, because I tell people all the time, I wasn't raised in the hood. I wasn't raised in poverty and stuff like that. I just wasn't. I mean, I just wasn't. I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend like I was raised in some hood and I grew up eating roaches and all this kind of nonsense. No, that wasn't me. You know, I knew people who grew up in that. I knew people, but it wasn't me. And shoot, I actually had hit more hard times when I got out of my parents' house than I had while I was in there. You know, because when I got on my own, you know, shit got real. You know, and I've been on my own, you know, ever since I was 17. So I mean, you know, shit got real when I was you know, when I moved out of my parents' house. But you know, far as like being raised in the hood and all that kind of stuff, I didn't even get any exposure. I talk about this all the time. I didn't even get any exposure to the hood till I moved out of my parents' house. That's when I started like hanging in the hood and carrying guns and smoking weed, shooting at folks, getting shot, getting shot at, stabbing people, getting stabbed. You know, all that stuff came after I left my parents' house. None of that shit took place while I was living at my parents' house, you know, and yeah, but I mean, I thought they were very interesting people. That's why I brought them to y'all. I wanted y'all to hear about, you know, how they live their life. And you know, like I said, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. I probably could do it if I was forced to. But see, they're not forced to doing it. I mean, they're doing it voluntarily. Um, they said they have a, you know, they have a ice cream business, and they say they take most of their money and they invest it in people, and they give a lot of it away. You know, they're like philanthropists. You know, they live, you know, they live a very minimalist kind of life. Yeah, they live very minimalist, and they said they have I think they said they have a camper or a bus or something that they like kind of travel around the, you know, they travel around the country with and do all these kind of things and film these documentaries of people in poverty. So I mean, it's I thought it was interesting, man. I thought they were very, very interesting people, man. So I figured I'd bring them on. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe we lost the feed, or phone went dead or something like that. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I learned a lot talking to them, man. You know, and I definitely thought they were worth a listen. Definitely thought they were worth a listen. So I figured I'd go ahead and, you know, bring them up here and bring them to y'all, because y'all know up here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, we have all kinds of people. You know, we have all kinds of folks. And like I said, next week we'll probably have somebody else. We'll have some other people up here that, you know, because I believe in bringing people on that other people don't bring on. I believe in talking to people, like I told the brother tonight. You know, I believe in talking to people that other people aren't talking to. I mean, if you go through the archives of T.P.O.T, you'll see a lot of people here that you won't see anywhere else. And by the way, if you want to go and check them out, if you want to go and you know, see what kind of stuff they do, all you got to do is look down there in the description box. You'll see where you can subscribe to BYE-TYE's YouTube page right down there. So go ahead and check it out. Also, get these damn likes up. Y'all know I hate it when the likes ain't running up. Y'all know I do. Also, if you're feeling generous, throw a few coins in the bucket right here. You know, throw a few coins in the bucket if you're feeling generous. It is greatly appreciated, because y'all know this worth money. But anyway, I think we lost them. I don't know if they're gonna come back or not. Maybe they'll hit me up on an email or something like that. So I guess we're gonna close out. I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat, because I see you up there. Everybody's getting a shout out tonight. I want to say peace to Lady Azula. WOTP, what's good? My man Jay Shine in the house. Brother Lando in the house. Simply Deep in the house. Lady Linda in the house. Brother Lando, what's good? Yo, Lando, man, me and you, we gonna link up, man. I'm gonna hit you up, brother. Yeah, FAS made me break my damn glasses. Lady Thalia, Brother Zero, Brother Rob, and of course, my man, Gap Talk in the house. Yeah, so this is what I need y'all to do. Get on down there, the Prophet of Thought series on Facebook. That's Prophet of Thought, one word, series, the next word on Facebook. That's the main page. Get on down there, like the page, follow the page, share the page. There's always something going on down there. Plus, you can find out what's going on the old T.P.O.T platform down there. And you can catch me down there too. You can actually leave me a message. I always answer within a day. Also, get on down there to the T.P.O.T bandwagon page on Facebook as well. That's the T.P.O.T bandwagon page. That's a personal page. You actually can send that page a friend's request, and I'll make sure it gets confirmed quick. And while you're doing that, get your black behinds down there to the old Prophet of Thought series fan group page on Facebook. That's right, the Prophet of Thought series fan group page. Get on down there, request to be a member. You'll get accepted quick. No problem. If you have a problem with it, just let me know. I'll make sure that my admins go ahead and put you in the group. I know sometimes it be trouble for some reason because people be writing me and they be like, oh, X, I can't get in there. But don't worry. Everybody who wrote me, y'all know y'all was able to get in there, right? Because I talked to my admins. I'm like, hey, you got to let people in the group. What the hell? Because, see, I don't admin it. I'm not the admin, even though it's my fan group. So, if you're having a problem, getting into the group, just write me, send me an email, and I'll make sure that my admins put you in the group. But like I said, it's the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Get on down there and check it out. It's always some good shit going on down there. It's a fan group page. So like I always say, you ain't just got to listen to old X run his mouth. There's other people down there posting shit and running their mouth too. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's right. It's Prophet of Thought on Instagram. Follow us. You guaranteed to get a follow back. Absolutely. And also, here we go again. Get your black behinds down there on Twitter and follow us on Twitter. The Twitter page is at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, or I will haunt your ass for the rest of your life. Once again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my moderators in the chat, and I want to thank the other folks in the chat as well. Also, I want to thank you for showing up tonight and spending some time with us. And also, I want to thank my guest of honor for showing up tonight and giving us some things to think about. BYE-TYE. And like I said, if you want to hit BYE-TYE up and subscribe to their channel, just look down there. You'll see their channel link in the description box. Go ahead and hit them up, subscribe to their channel, check them out. They're very interesting people, and they're good people too. All right. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. If you're thinking on celebrating, if you're a person who celebrates Thanksgiving, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there. I know my wife, because my wife's a cooker and a caterer, so she's cooking and she's doing stuff for other people as well. So I guess when I get up off of here, I'll go and bug the hell out of her. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. And like always, I will leave you with 3 words. Like I always do, open your mind. And hold on, make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow night. Because tomorrow night, we're doing a special Thanksgiving show right here on DXL on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about acting black or white. And of course, the usual suspects going to be around. All right? So, once again, I will leave you with 3 words. Like I always do, open your minds. And we are out of here, y'all.
The Prophet of Thought.
Peace, folks.
The profit of darkness. 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 The profit of darkness.
Only from T.P.O.T. Open your minds.